Today we will prove the same law of conservation of linear momentum from homogeneity of space, but it will be in vector form. Yesterday we have proved it in one dimension, that is only by using x component, but today we will take all three components, that is in space or vector form. So, what is the diagram in vector form? Let there are two particles A and P. Today these particles are lying in space. In previous article we have considered these two particles lying on x axis, but in this case the particles are lying in space that is A and B. The position of particle A is r1 and particle B is r2. These are same as x1 and x2. Now we will consider the second frame of reference, that is S dash frame. Let that frame is lying here, this one. It is O dash, it is x dash, this one is y dash, and this one is z dash, this one, or it is z dash axis. The distance between this O to O dash, this one, it is dr vector, this is dr, small change in the origin. Now the position of A point with respect to this O dash, this one is r1 dash, and of B2 is r2 dash. So there are position vectors r1, r2. r1, r2 are the position vectors in S frame, and r1 dash, r2 dash are the position vectors in S dash frame. This one is S dash frame, and this is S, and this one is S dash frame. So we are observing these two particles A and B in both frames. So these are positions. Now we know that in homogeneity of space, any physical quantity, let that quantity be potential energy, this one, remain constant, because the space is homogeneous. So due to homogeneity property of space, we will write this as U of r1, r2, that is potential energy of two particle system in S frame, is same as potential energy in S dash frame, that is U r1 dash, r2 dash. It is same as the previous article in which we have written these are x1, x2 and x1 dash, x2 dash. So in space these are r1, r2 and r1 dash and r2 dash. Now we will prove law of conservation of momentum, means P is constant, by using this equation. So this is our first equation. Now what is next step? Next step is to change this r1 dash and r2 dash in r1, r2. So we will use the triangle law of vector addition. This is triangle O, O dash A. In triangle O, O dash A, in this triangle, these two vectors are in same order and this is in opposite order. So R1 vector is equal to dr plus r1 dash, is right. This one is r dr and this is r1 dash, and this is resultant vector that is in opposite direction, that is r1, or r1 dash is equal to r1 minus dr from here. So, this is the value of r1 dash. We will put this r1 dash value here, and similarly in triangle OO dash B, OO dash B, similarly R2 dash is equal to R2 minus dr, equation number 3. So, these are the values for R1 dash and R2 dash in terms of R1 R2. We will put these values in equation number 1, that is here. So, on putting these values, equation number 2 and 3 in equation number 1, we get, what will we get? We get u r1 r2, this is on the right hand side, this u of r1 dash, that is r1 minus dr, comma r2 dash means r2 minus dr2, this one. So, this is the right hand side. Now, we will apply the Taylor theorem for these two functions on right hand side. So, using Taylor's theorem on right hand side. So, what is that theorem? We know that u of r1 minus dr, comma r2 minus dr, sorry, may be written as u of first function, u of r1 r2 and minus du upon dr, du upon dr1 into dr, and second one is minus du upon dr2 into this one dr. So, I have written this expression by using Taylor theorem for two variables. Now, the right hand side become this. So, putting this value in this equation, we will get u of r1 r2 is equal to u of r1 r2, this one, and minus du upon dr1 into dr and minus du over dr2 into dr. So, by using Taylor theorem, the right hand side may be written as like this by using Taylor theorem. Now, these terms u of r1 r2 and u of r1 r2 both will cancel out and it is 0, and on the right hand side this du upon dr1 may be written as del 1 of u. This ddr1 means del 1, delta operator, into dr minus this one is delta 2 into delta 2 into of u, this one, it is delta 2 into u and it is dr. Now, taking common, minus is common, dr is also common, and remaining term is del 1 u plus del 2 vector u is equal to 0, or this del 1 u plus del 2 u is equal to 0 because minus dr 1 is lying in the denominator on dividing, and we will get this term is 0, this one. Now, we know that by the definition of conservative force, what is this force? if the force is conservative, then that force is derived from this equation. I have already discussed in the previous lecture the force which is produced from the negative gradient of any scalar quantity or any energy scalar quantity, or this ddr may be written as minus del u. So, this del 1 u is equal to minus f1, okay, from this equation del 1 u is minus f. So, for 1 it is 1 and for second, for 2 it is minus f2. Okay. Now, putting these values here, so it will become minus f1 and minus f2 is equal to 0. So, minus f1 and minus f2 is 0, or taking minus 1 common and remaining term is f1 plus f2 is equal to 0. It is again Newton's third law of motion, that is f1 is equal to minus f2, that is for action, every action f1 there is equal and opposite reaction, or action and reaction are equal and opposite. This is Newton's third law of motion. It is Newton's third law of motion. But our aim is to prove law of conservation of linear momentum. So, we will change this formula in momentum form. So, we know that force is equal to dp upon dt. You know that, since we know that this is the second law. So, we can change this formula f into momentum by using this formula. So, this one may be written as dp1 upon dt, because for 1 it is 1, for second it is second. So, dp1 upon dt is equal to minus dp2 upon dt. So, I have written this f1 as dp1 upon dt and this f2 as minus dp2 upon dt, minus, or we will take both term on left hand side, that is dp1 upon dt is already here, plus second dp2 upon dt become positive on left hand side and right hand side becomes 0, or we take common, or the common derivative dgt. This equation may be written as ddt of p1 plus p2 is equal to 0, this p1 plus p2. So, we know that the derivative of any constant term is always 0. So, this implies this term must be constant, because its derivative is 0. So, what is this? This is nothing, it is the net sum of all momentum is always constant, or it may be written as p. So, p is constant. So, it is law of conservation of linear momentum in vector form. Now, the next we will prove law of conservation of angular momentum by isotropy of space in our next lecture. So, thank you very much.